A few years ago, I came across the story of two elderly people who got married. The man was 78 years old and the woman was 65. And the reason for getting married, Thomas, 78, was father of 7 children and had many grandchildren. But there was no one to give him even a cup of coffee. Bridget, 65, mother of 6 children. Her husband had died 24 years earlier, and she had looked after all her children. But now, nobody had time for her. So they got married to be with each other. Being strangers or not finding acceptance even in one's own family is just one of the difficult experiences that human beings go through today. We speak of the world as a global village. We are proud of all the modern means of communication at our disposal which make instant communication possible. Yet, we are also witnesses to the decrease in genuine human communication. In today's Gospel, Jesus tells us two things. The first thing that he tells us is that there will be judgment. However, often we try to fool ourselves saying, judgment is very far off. Jesus tells us, "Fool, this night your soul is required of you." There are others who say there is no such thing as final judgment, so just live this life the way you like, enjoy it to the maximum. As observed by the Danish philosopher Solemnity, the beyond and with it, the judgment has become a joke, something so uncertain that one is amused to think that there was a time in which this idea transformed the whole of human existence. Secondly, Jesus tells us, you are going to be judged by what you do. Today we claim that we have replaced the negative morality with a positive morality. What is important, we say, is not keeping the commandments, but doing good. No problem even if you break some commandments, provided you do good to others. Moreover, one finds support for such arguments in the parable of the Good Samaritan, the parable of the rich man and Lazarus, and the parable of the Last Judgment. We arrive at such conclusions because we see only two types of people in the parable of the Last Judgment. Those who came to the aid of the needy and those that did not. Is not there a third category of people? What about those people? Those responsible for others being hungry, thirsty, strangers, sick, prisoners, naked, etc.? If Jesus condemns those who did not come to the help of those in need, what about those who are responsible for these maladies? Will not their condemnation be even more severe? Let us not delude ourselves by thinking that the reward is ours because we do some acts of charity. No, first comes justice and then charity. We are all called to be just in our relationships. It is from here that we need to move on to charity. Here comes the importance of observing the commandments, justice. For example, I need to do justice to my elderly parents. I should make sure that they do not become strangers in my house. This is observing the commandments. Having done that, I should go beyond and do more in order to find a place on the right side. What do all these mean for us on this solemnity of Christ the King? In the first place, I believe a new way of being king is introduced by the first reading as well as the gospel. A king who has come to serve and not to be served. A king who chooses to serve rather than being served. Throughout the ages, rulers, kings, emperors, monarchs, dictators have come and gone. Yet, no ruler has ever captured hearts like Jesus. No one has served his subjects so faithfully and with such compassion. Never was there another ruler who gave up his life to save the lives even of those who were not loyal to him. Secondly, the readings, especially the gospel, tells me, you are not the king, the other is the king. Do you want to see the king? Do you want to see the kings? Stop looking at the mirror. Instead, look out through the window. In other words, stop looking at yourself and start looking at the other. In short, this solemnity invites us to become kings like Jesus and to recognize those around us as